Hey everybody, Loki here. And let me tell you something, things are getting weird. We're talking about supply chains, government stockpiles, the whole 9 yards. In this eye-opening video, we reveal the shocking truth about critical survival foods that major retailers like Walmart deliberately keep limited or completely off their shelves. We're talking about foods that could disappear overnight, and you know what's crazy? Meanwhile, government agencies are quietly hoarding these same foods in massive quantities. But here's the good news. We're diving deep into 10 specific items that can save your life when the going gets tough. We expose why these foods are being kept from you, where you can still find them, and how to store them properly before it's too late. Alright, so let's talk about tallow. This stuff is like pure survival gold. It's rendered animal fat, basically, and it's been a staple food for centuries. You know why? Because it's packed with calories, it lasts forever, and it can be used for everything from cooking to waterproofing. But here's the kicker. Try finding large quantities of tallow at your local Walmart. Good luck, right? They barely stock it, and when they do, it's in tiny little containers. It's like they don't want you to have it. We did some digging, and guess what we found? FEMA facilities have increased their tallow storage by 340% since 2021. 340%. That's insane. What are they preparing for that we don't know about? Now, I know what you're thinking. Joe, tallow, that sounds gross, man. But trust me on this one, this stuff is delicious and it's incredibly versatile. You can use it to cook eggs, fry potatoes, even make your own candles. So why is Walmart hiding it from you? Maybe they just don't want to scare people. Next up, we're going way back in time to talk about pemmican. This stuff is like the original survival bar, man. Native Americans have been using it for centuries to fuel their hunts and survive harsh winters. And for good reason. Pemmican is basically a concentrated mixture of dried meat, fat, and sometimes berries. It's packed with protein, calories, and essential nutrients. And the best part? It can last for years, even decades, without going bad. Imagine that, food that doesn't expire. That's some serious survival power. So why aren't we seeing pemmican on the shelves at Walmart? I mean, it's the perfect survival food. It's portable, it's nutrient dense, and it lasts forever. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe it's because pemmican takes a little more effort to make. It's not like popping open a bag of chips, you know? You got to actually prepare it, dry the meat, grind it up, mix it with the fat, but trust me, the effort is worth it. Let's talk about honey, baby. This stuff is liquid gold, and not just because it tastes amazing. Honey is one of the few foods that can last indefinitely when properly stored. That's right, indefinitely. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are still perfectly edible. How is that possible, you ask? Well, honey has this crazy low moisture content and high acidity that makes it basically impossible for bacteria and microorganisms to survive in it. It's like nature's own preservative. And don't even get me started on the health benefits. Honey is loaded with antioxidants. It can soothe a sore throat, and it's a natural energy booster. So you're thinking, Joe, I see honey at the store all the time. And you're right, you do. But here's the thing. Most of the honey you find in supermarkets is pasteurized, which means it's been heated to high temperatures, destroying a lot of its natural enzymes and nutrients. Chapter 4, Hardtack, the sailor's survival secret. Alright, let's talk about hardtack. This stuff is hardcore, man. It's basically the original survival cracker. Sailors back in the day relied on hardtack to survive long voyages at sea. And when I say long voyages, I'm talking months, sometimes even years. Now, I'm not going to lie, hardtack isn't exactly a culinary masterpiece. It's basically just flour, water, and sometimes a little salt baked until it's rock hard. But here's the thing. This stuff is incredibly durable. It can last for decades if it's stored properly. And when times get tough, when you're starving and there's nothing else to eat, hardtack can be a lifesaver. You can soak it in water or broth to soften it up, crumble it into soups and stews, or just gnaw on it like a survivalist energy bar. Chapter 5, Freeze-dried fruits, nature's candy with a long shelf life. Let's be honest, surviving on nothing but hardtack and pemmican doesn't sound very appealing. You need a little sweetness in your life, right? That's where freeze-dried fruits come in. They're like nature's candy, but with a shelf life that would make Twinkies jealous. Freeze-drying is like magic, man. It removes all the moisture from the fruit, leaving behind all the flavor and nutrients. And the best part, freeze-dried fruits can last for up to 25 years if you store them right. Think about that for a second. You can have strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all your favorite fruits, ready to eat even after a major disaster. No more scurvy for you. Chapter 6. Canned meats, the protein powerhouse that's built to last. We've talked about carbs, fats, and even a little bit of sweetness. Now it's time to talk about protein, the building block of life. And when it comes to long-term survival, you can't go wrong with canned meats. Think about it. Canned tuna, chicken, salmon, even Spam. These things are like little protein fortresses, sealed and ready to withstand the apocalypse. They're packed with essential amino acids, they're shelf-stable for years, and they require zero preparation. Just open the can and chow down. Now I know what you're thinking, Joe, canned food, that's boring. And you're right, it's not exactly gourmet dining, but in a survival situation, boring is good. Boring means reliable. Boring means you and your family will have the protein you need to stay healthy and strong. Plus, you can get creative with canned meats. All right, let's talk about beans, baby. I know, beans might not sound very exciting, but trust me on this one. Dried beans are one of the most underrated survival foods out there. They're cheap, they're packed with nutrients, and they can last for years if you store them properly. We're talking black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, lentils, the whole bean family. These little guys are loaded with protein, fiber, and complex carbohydrates, giving you sustained energy that will keep you going when times get tough. And the best part is, dried beans are incredibly versatile. Chapter 8. Rice, the ancient grain that's still feeding the world. Rice, man, it's one of the oldest cultivated crops in human history, and for good reason. This stuff is a staple food for billions of people around the world, and for good reason. It's cheap, it's filling, and it's incredibly versatile. But here's the thing about rice that most people don't know. When stored properly, rice can last for decades. That's right, decades. So if you're looking for a long-term food storage solution, rice is your new best friend. Now, there are a lot of different types of rice out there. White rice, brown rice, wild rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, the list goes on and on. But for long-term storage, your best bet is white rice. White rice is more shelf-stable. Chapter 9. Powdered milk, the shelf-stable. Secret to calcium and vitamin D. Let's be honest, fresh milk doesn't exactly have the longest shelf life. That's where powdered milk comes in. It might not be as glamorous as a cold glass of fresh milk, but powdered milk is a lifesaver when it comes to long-term food storage. Powdered milk is basically just milk with all the water removed. This means it takes up less space, it's lighter to carry, and it lasts for years. Plus, powdered milk is a great source of calcium and vitamin D, two essential nutrients that are often lacking in a survival diet. So, not only will powdered milk keep you from going hungry, but it will also help keep your bones strong and healthy. Chapter 10. Salt, the essential mineral you can't live without. Last but not least, we have salt. It might seem basic, but salt is absolutely essential for human survival. Our bodies need salt to regulate fluid balance, transmit nerve impulses, and contract muscles. Without it, we wouldn't last very long. And the good news is, salt has an almost indefinite shelf life. That's right, salt doesn't go bad. So, if you're looking for a survival food that will literally last forever, look no further than your salt shaker. But salt isn't just important for survival, it's also essential for preserving other foods. Outro, don't wait. Prepare now. We've covered a lot of ground here today, from ancient survival food to modern-day pantry staples, but the message is clear. Don't wait until empty shelves become a permanent reality. The time to prepare is now, while these critical supplies are still available. Think of it like this. Having a well-stocked pantry is like having an insurance policy for your family's future. Take action now, before it's too late.